They want to use what I think is a natural inclination of Americans to stand with Israel and to support a land that's got a 4,000-year connection to our faith. They want to use that to get support for Ukraine. Then you bring in someone like Mike Johnson, who is rooted in the right things and wants to empower the membership. The first thing he did was pray. The second thing he did was give a speech about the importance of decentralizing power out of the Speaker's office so that more.
The United States stands with Israel. Israel has a right to defend itself, and there is no need expressed by Israel that the United States has not been able to meet. That's because we have Israel essentially on auto pay. I do want to say, based on what's going on in Israel right now, it is horrifying. We stand with the people of Israel. Israel has a right to defend itself. I get the sense that Israel is going to be larger, not smaller, at the end of this conflict. And we have to take note that every place, whether it's Gaza or Judea and Samaria, where Israel has given back territory, life has gotten worse for the people who live in those places. And I think Israel's actions right now are justified, though we certainly hope that the carnage and the death comes to an end as soon as possible. Yeah, but what he said was there was no need in Israel that we're not going to be able to meet based on the funding that we've already approved for Israel. And the reason we have this multi-billion-dollar commitment each and every year to Israel is because we want Israel to have a qualitative military edge over everyone in the region. They have that edge. Israel has air superiority now. We are seeing their armored vehicles in the north. I'm very concerned about what Hezbollah might do, what Lebanon might do there to try to create more instability. But there is no ask from Israel that we are unable to meet because it's going to take us a few days to pick a new speaker. I was very critical. The United States is leading with bold action, and that we moved our embassy to Jerusalem, signifying that Jerusalem is the unified and forever capital of the Jewish people. These are not protests in the Gaza Strip. These are riots. These are people who are attacking Israelis on the other side of the fence, and Israel has a right to defend itself. The real challenge here is that you've got Hamas and the Palestinian Authority engaged in incitement of their own citizens, encouraging their citizens to do things that ultimately result in their harm or their death. And so we've got to have greater engagement to ensure that there's not this incitement in the future. But certainly Israel has a right and an obligation to defend its citizens. But President Trump understands that the world is a safer place when America is the strongest country in the world, and when we lead with moral conviction and with clarity and with boldness. And that's what you see from the Iran deal to our movement of the embassy in Jerusalem to our actions on the Korean Peninsula, where we're no longer just engaging in a passive strategy, but we exuded maximum pressure to bring the regime to the table. And so I think that really across the country, one of the reasons why President Trump's approval rating is rising is that he's doing exactly what he said he would do during the campaign.
I rise today to support our friend and ally Israel, and to stand for the obvious proposition that Israel, the Jewish people, have an ancient connection to the city of Jerusalem. This connection has been forged through millennia of shared faith and shared history. Yet the UN is actually trying to rewrite history. They condemn Israel and call it an occupying power in Jerusalem. They prevent Israeli scientists from excavating, even though past findings have been significant to Christians, Muslims, and Jews alike. They've been silent when Israel's culture has been attacked, including the desecration and burning of holy sites. Each year brings new horrors from the UN. Their cruelty and attempts to erase history, their anti-Semitism cannot be tolerated any longer. Today I'm introducing a resolution reaffirming the connection of the Jewish people to the city of Jerusalem. I encourage my colleagues to show solidarity with Israel and to support this resolution I have proposed.
First, the Jewish vote. Donald Trump has been the most pro-Israel candidate probably in America's history. Today's Abraham Accords will only create more enthusiasm for the president in Florida with those voters. Second is the Hispanic vote.
The gentleman without objection is recognized for 1 minute.
Madam Speaker, I rise today to support our friend and ally Israel, and to stand for the obvious proposition that Israel, the Jewish people, have an ancient connection to the city of Jerusalem. This connection has been forged through millennia of shared faith and shared history. Yet the UN is actually trying to rewrite history. They condemn Israel and call it an occupying power in Jerusalem. They prevent Israeli scientists from excavating, even though past findings have been significant to Christians, Muslims, and Jews alike. They've been silent when Israel's culture has been attacked, including the desecration and burning of holy sites. Each year brings new horrors from the UN. Their cruelty and attempts to erase history, their anti-Semitism cannot be tolerated any longer. Today I'm introducing a resolution reaffirming the connection of the Jewish people to the city of Jerusalem and condemning UNESCO's attempts to punish and delegitimize Israel. I encourage my colleagues to show solidarity with Israel, to support the President's removal of the United States from UNESCO, and to support this resolution I have proposed. I yield back the balance of my time.